Hey Leo, this one's for you. Going to be doing an energy reading for this week. So if you're curious what might be going on, stick around because we're about to get into it. And if you're new here or you're like, this video was posted like 6 weeks ago and there is probably a message in here. Oh my God, I'm fucking my words up. Sorry, Mercury retrograde. There's probably a message in... There is probably a message in here for you. These messages are timeless, so if it stumbled upon your timeline and you never see my face, there is probably a reason for that. So let's get into this energy. We're going to be starting with the Citadel deck to see what archetype you've been in, and man, was that sure came out very quick. So the Runaway, secrets, running from problems. Let's see, how have you been doing that, Leo? You could be stepping out of this energy. You could have been just coming from that. So let's see what we can find. So don't freak out just yet. Let's get to the bottom of the energy before we jump to conclusions on where we're at now. Okay? All right. So the Runaway. The streets are busier than usual, and the number of people and voices clamoring in the market is overwhelming. But even among them, one person stands out, dressed in clothes that look a little too foreign, a map in their hands and the look of uncertainty on their face. The Runaway has lived in a cage their entire life, protected yet stifled by wealth and a good family. The Runaway longed for new experiences, but was unable to break free. Now that they've finally made their escape, however, they've realized the world outside is too vast, and they fear that they can't ask for help, lest someone send them back home again. It's normal to want to run away from your problems rather than facing them, but you'll soon find that this won't resolve anything. Your problems will simply follow you until you're overwhelmed by everything you've been avoiding. It's time to start admitting to yourself what you're running from and address it. Let's find out. I'm not going to jump to conclusion about that. I'm just going to get straight to the rest of the decks. All right, so let's see how this energy has been portrayed. Wow, we're starting with the Empress. Okay. Okay, Runaway coming out looking like a baddie. Wow, what is going on here? Okay, Queen of Cups. Oh, wow, you jump. Okay. I don't see this as running away from your problems, but we haven't finished the reading yet. So let's see. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, Leo's going through a lot right now. Whoa. Wow. So far, this is the longest reading I've done. I haven't pulled this many cards for the other two fire signs. But let's see. So this looks like it's dealing with some type of union here. And this may not be for all of you. I just want to reiterate that this is a general reading, right? So I'm reading an entire zodiac. So you got to be careful when I say another person or this or that, because it could be just yourself, like two versions of yourself within you that are, integrating or whatever. But yeah, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't, basically. So we're starting with the Empress and the Queen of Cups. This is some really strong intuitive energy. Give me 1 second. I'm getting a call. Sorry about that. All right. So what the fuck was I saying? Okay, so the Empress and the Queen of Cups. You're coming out with some really strong energy, right? I keep hearing the song Mr. Brightside, so like obviously with this card you're gonna think of that, right? Coming out of my cage and I'm feeling just fine, right? So maybe there was some type of like epiphany that you had that like really got you out of a certain energy that maybe you had been stuck in previously. And I feel like maybe just locking in with this type of energy made you feel better, like almost instantly, right? And I feel like this is regarding someone else. This is talking about, a union that you might have, but it could just be within you. So remember that too. If you're single and you don't got none of this going on, you know, it could be like two versions of yourself, like I said earlier. But there was a lot of illumination on this union that was being shown to you at this time. And I feel like you realize, oh, I want to restart, essentially. I want things to shift and change, and I'm gonna make it happen. I see this new opportunity here, and I want to embark on this path, right? So this is basically saying like you're maybe dedicating yourself to better communication regarding your emotions and wanting to see where this new path takes you guys, where it takes you as a person. How is this going to make you grow? How is this going to help you guys move forward? And yeah, it's really, really strong. And I see that you're getting out of that period of lack and opening up about maybe your grievances regarding this person, regarding the situation. Maybe you're just finally speaking your truth. And it took a lot of strength to do that. But man, is it gonna fucking pay off, dude? Because you go from the Seven of Pentacles, which is like really reflecting on everything that you've done and created up until this point, and then you enter in King of Pentacles, which is saying, actually, I'm really happy with where I'm at. I'm happy with how far I've come, and I'm happy with what is growing in my life right now. There's just this really strong sense of abundance that you're tapping into and realizing I'm way happier than I'm allowing myself to be. Wow. And I feel like you're realizing, man, there is this equal give and take in life. And I feel like you're just understanding how this situation has balanced you out, how it's balanced. No, I don't think that's what I mean. I think I mean like opening up to this idea that maybe things are more fair than your ego allows you to realize, because your ego is trying to protect you and make you feel like you do nothing wrong, right? So maybe you're starting to open up to the idea that we're all filled with both good and bad, and you're honoring and accepting that not only in other people but in yourself too. And I think you're seeing the damage that is caused when you don't open up. And also when you don't open up in a giving way, right? It's like when you open up, you're not just giving to the other person, you're giving to yourself. It's like you're harming yourself every time you do this. This creates inner conflict within you. And maybe you didn't really realize that, but I feel like you're really opening up to it now after all that you've been through. And the counterpart to the Queen of Cups arrives, right? You start to actually put these things that you've learned into action and start seeing the abundance that's before you, the abundance of opportunities, because if you're open to them, you can find them. But maybe you haven't been as open as you might think you have been. But I feel like you're really putting that strength into practice with this like concrete pad here, like helping him with all these waves and shit. He don't feel that. I mean, he might if he puts his toe in because he wants to. He feels it when he wants to, right? It's like shit doesn't have to be that serious unless you make it that serious. If you're in the middle of an argument and you start thinking, I'm starting to see how ridiculous this is. Don't just keep the argument going because your ego is like, well, now I've gone too far, I gotta prove my point. No, you have the opportunity to stop it right there and be like, you know what? I'm having a realization like maybe you're right. Maybe I have been doing this. But also, I have been feeling this way about what you're doing. You know, there's a way to bring love into the situation and squash any beef right then and there. I've done it multiple times. It works. And if the other person gets riled up, that shows a lot about them. But you got to realize like how your energy is playing a part as well. It's time to give rather than take. Yeah. And that could be like on both sides, right? It's reminding me of this card. It's like there needs to be an equal give and take. And I feel like things are balancing out to make that a thing in your life, because I feel like there's this like holding on, Like, there is no giving or taking. It's like this holding on to everything that I need. I need this because I need it. And it's like this inability to give because it's coming from a place of lack, right? And that is not healthy. Usually, if someone like wants something, instead of being like, well, I need this for later, it's more of like, well, they might need this now. So I let me hope that it comes to me when I need it. You know what I mean? I don't know if that made sense, but it's like, I don't need all of this. I can share. It's like this, there's this need to share because sharing helps you. It doesn't just help the other person. There's something called giver's gain. And this is something in the business world, right? Where it's like you giving to another business gives back to you, right? Because they're going to be like, yo, this business helped me out and they did this for me and they did that. People are going to want to spread the word about you. People are going to want to like send that energy out to come back to you, right? Because they're so grateful. Does that make sense? Don't let pride get in your way, Leo. This is a Leo card. Don't let pride get in your way. Because I feel like that's what's been happening. This is a pride thing. What do you need to release? Yeah, we've been talking about that as well, right? What are you holding on to that needs to be released? And this could be from your whole life. This doesn't have to just be from this situation. You might have a lot that needs to be released right now. And it's time to take action. It's time to actually do something about it. It's time to put all those things that you've learned into practice and do them. Because if you just keep, if you have the intention of opening up, but you continue to do this, it's not all about your intentions. It is about intentions plus actions. Man, did I learn that the hard way. It's time to take action. Believe in the impossible. Whatever you want to happen has the capacity to happen. That's why you want it. That's why they say like delusion works. It does, because you're not delusional. You see your potential. You know it's true. Okay. Let's get a couple of these. And I think I spent a lot of time on those, so I'm going to have to just get a couple. Not too many. Whoa. And it was the Magician and the High Priestess? Okay. Okay, Leo, you tapping into this. You tapping in. We like to see that. The Magician. I mean, this is just a huge transformation, right? Alchemy. When I'm in alignment with Spirit's will, miracles are possible. When I see this card, I'm reminded that my will and skill alone will yield limited results. When I remember my partnership with Spirit, all is well. I'm required to explore my commitment to this co-creative, alchemical relationship and see the results manifest beautifully. Through me, Spirit works magic. Yeah, you and Spirit are working together to create this life that you're asking for. But if you keep getting in Spirit's way, they're eventually going to stop trying to help, right? Or they're just going to be like, okay, they got to figure this shit out before we can do anything. Because they're so closed off and rigid that they don't allow us to help them. Stop being a control freak. Let some shit go. Because I'm just feeling like this such a tight hold on something that it's not allowing the blessings even to come in. It's like you've created this like fucking bunker to shield you from really beautiful things. Ignore that. Somebody's coming in. The High Priestess. Okay, so we have number 2, mystery. Some things are not meant to be known intellectually, but are meant to be experienced through intuition. This card reminds me to trust that I have access to higher wisdom and knowing when I tune in and trust my vibes. This is the time when mysteries will be revealed and I can grow as a result. Yeah, I feel like a lot of things are going to unfold in very mysterious ways that you can't explain. And I feel like it's going to help kind of open your mind a little bit because you're going to be like, I can't believe that just happened. Like, it's like those, when you see a sunset so beautiful and you're like, how is any of this life real? Like, what the fuck are we doing? I can't believe that exists, you know? Setting healthy boundaries, strong self-esteem. Oh, this is the Queen of Air, by the way. Strong self-esteem, calculated and shrewd decisions, clear communication, well-organized, a wordsmith. I have clarity of my purpose. My intentions are in alignment with my understanding. There is always a strategy in the game called life. Can I let go of false truths and be rigorously honest with myself and others? I looked you dead in the eye when I said that. There's some false truths trying to come at you, and you might need to go into hermit mode for a little bit and just kind of explore this idea. this territory, this new path, this option, right? Go after your goals. What do you want? Go after it. Do it. Stop waiting. Begin writing now. If you don't journal, start. Create, express, inspire. And it doesn't even have, you could write short stories. It doesn't have to be about your life if that makes you uncomfortable. It could just be some bullshit. Treat your body well. Exercise, meditate, massage. So there's a need to like really connect with you, with yourself. There's a need to kind of like, okay, let me take a step back and really evaluate where I'm going and what I actually want. There's a need to set your intentions, keep going, and stay like really level-headed. Yeah, that's definitely the advice I can give you. Okay, I think that's all I got. Yeah, if you made it this far, put a bird in the comments to show how you're flying out of this cage right now. You are getting out of there and you're busting out ready to go. I feel like you understand what you need to do because you've been running maybe for a long time, and I feel like you're finally getting to the point where you realize running has not been helping me. I need to actually face this head on, or else I'm gonna be stuck in this fucking limbo forever. Fuck that. So thank you so much for joining me here. I really appreciate it. Please give this video a like or a comment if you resonated. And yeah, if you're interested in a personal private reading, please DM me or reach out to tarotwithsummer@gmail.com. And yeah, I think that's all I got. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.